Welcome back to part 3 of the navigation app. In part 2 of the last video, we got the user location and got the user's permission to use the location. And in this part, we're going to do the navigation. So sit back and enjoy. So what we need to do is get the text from these. So what we can do is we can do like latitude text field dot text, but this is optional. What if it was nil? It will crash, right? So what we do is we can do if let to check if it's not nil. So if let latitude txt equals to the latitude text field dot text, and you can also check on multiple optional values. So longitude text equal to longitude text field dot text. Very good. So that shall work. Yeah, very good. That works. This is because it's not being used yet. So you can click this again to get rid of it. Like, if that's annoying. So basically, we check if they're not empty. So now we check if they're not empty. So if latitude text is not equal to no string, an empty string, so just empty text that should display in user's shoes or user's place, like what they see, and the longitude text field should longitude text should not be equal to empty. So very good. And then now we can check if the lat equals, if latitude is equal to a double, or basically it's basically like a decimal of the latitude text and longitude equals to double. What's wrong with me in typing? I don't know. And that should be longitude text. There we go. And there we go. So we've checked that, and so and we forgot to add a let before the long. Okay, so now we can create our coordinate. So let coordinate for coordinate equals to CL location for CL location coordinate 2D, and there we go. And so it's asking for CL location degrees, and we can do CL location degrees. Here we go. And then inside that is that, and that means that it should work, because it's converted to CL location degrees. Like this, it's also converted to a decimal or double, and so there we go. That's the coordinate we need. That's the coordinate of the destination, and now we should probably pinpoint that, or basically get a pin or annotation, like a pin in that map, indicating where the destination is. So now let's create an annotation view. An annotation view equals to mk annotation view. Very good. And we should probably do that. And change this to var. Actually, it's an mk pin annotation view, and we should create a constant called annotation point, and that should be an mk annotation mk point annotation. So mk point annotation, and do that, and do an equal. So after we've done all that, we can set the annotation point coordinate to the coordinate. So we should also add a title to the annotation points title. So to be lat and the lon. So that's the latitude and longitude, and that should be the title. So if you click on it, there will be a little pop-up on the top, and that should say the coordinate. And that's just cool. So now we can create the annotation view. We can create the annotation view, and we can do that actually. So equal to mk pin annotation view, and that will be the annotation. Yes. So annotation will be the annotation point. So annotation point dot, and yeah, there we go. And the identifier or reuse identifier. So if you want to reuse it, I'm going to call this Bob. Actually, annotation. Annotation is much better. So basically we've created it, created the annotation view. Okay, it must be a bug because it's being used. Okay, so what we can do is we can add the annotation. Come on, add an. Oh right, it's map view dot add annotation and annotation view dot annotation. So basically we have an annotation. Anything wrong here? Oh, unwrap it. So basically that's the annotation that being put down. And so we can first we should probably clear everything before adding the annotations and and the root. So we should create a function to call function called clear map, and there we go. And we should do And what we do is map view dot remove annotations, and for those array of annotations, map view dot annotations. So basically it's getting rid of all of the annotations. And map view dot remove overlays, map view dot overlays. There we go. So that's getting rid of the overlay, or that's basically our root, and our annotation. So that's simple, the annotation, and so we need to navigate. Okay, so to navigate, we can create a request for the directions. So we create a constant for directions request. And if you don't know the difference between let and var, let is a constant and var is a variable. A constant cannot be changed, and a variable can be changed. So let directions request equals to mk directions request, and keep that empty. So what we need is directions request. So we need the source, or basically the starting point, and that should be the user location. So that should be the map view dot user location dot coordinate. There we go. And the directions request destination should be the map view, it should be the coordinate. There we go. And so we also need to we should also set directions request alternate routes. So basically it will get like other possible routes. And we should set that to false, because we only want one we only want one request. Only one route, if that is possible. What else? Well, we also need a directions request dot transport type, and that should be, and I'm gonna set that to car or automobile. Well, there's an option for any. Actually, I should do any, because like you might not get there by car or walking. So let's see, directions request transport type, and so we should create the directions. So directions equals to mk directions, and the request is a directions request. There we go. There we go. And then we need to do directions dot calculate. So basically that's calculating the route. And so this is called and so we're going to do a closure. And a closure is basically like another way of making a function, but like that function is like can only be used once, or it can only be used in another function basically. And it's like a function without a name. So let's do this, and and you can have, and these are some parameters. which will come in an error. Okay, and this will be called when it's finished. So like when it's calculated the directions, and so we can check if the directions is directions dot, well, if the response, if the if let res or response equals to response, because it might be nil, so there might be like the problem, and else, so that means that there can only be an error, so print the error. There we go. So before we get on with the navigation and the route, first I found out there are two problems, and that is because you don't actually don't actually just put in the coordinate. What you do is you do mk map item, and then here we'll ask for a place mark, and then in that we do mk place mark, so we're making an mk place mark, and then it will ask us for a coordinate, and that coordinate is the map view dot user location dot coordinate. So basically it's the same thing, except we put in a map item, and then that will ask for a place mark, and then we make a place mark which asks us for the coordinates. So basically we're going to do the same thing here. So mk map item, and then it'll ask us for the place mark, and then for place mark we do mk place mark, and then we put in the, and then it asks us the coordinate, so we put in the core or coordinate, which is the destination. And so that should be it for that should get rid of the problem actually. Yeah, so no more problems. Very good. And so here we can get on with the route. So what we do first is, you know how we actually had this clear map function, and we actually didn't use this. We actually, oh, that's clear. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just searching for anything with clear map in it. So basically just press Command F, come up with that, and you can type in a specific, well, piece of text. So yeah, as we see here, only one, and that one is here, the clear map. So we didn't use the clear map, but we will soon. We will soon. Okay. So where do we put that clear map? Here. Just because if everything goes well, we can clear the map. And so what we do is we get the route that the response had. So let route equals to res or response. See here, and dot routes, and that will be an array of routes, so a list of routes. It can, and we said we only wanted one route, and so there will be only one route. So we just do dot first to get the first item in the list, and yes, that's the route we want. And so we'll do what we do here is we do map view. So map dot add overlay, and that overlay is a root, but it's like a drawing essentially. It's like just overlay is basically something which goes over the map, and that's the drawing, I guess. And so we do root dot polyline, and that is our overlay, and it's a polyline, so it's just a line with lots of sides in it. I don't really get that. And so that's something here. Oh, because this is optional. This root is optional, so if you want, we can do iflet. And then we can cut that using Command X. And here we put it in. And we can get rid of that question mark. And here, what's from? Oh, first, because this is a closure, like I said, this is clear. And when you have a closure, you need to do self.clearMap if you want to call any function or you want to get any variable which is outside here. Just because the computer doesn't want any complications. Yes. And so everything looks fine. Everything looks fine, right? So well, it looks like everything's done, but there's still more to do. That's it for part 3. In the next part, we're going to do the press and hold when you click on the map to drop a pin. And so, for now, bye!